We're heading to the finals. Without further ado, European Fantasy Comics. My personal top 10. Number 1. Hugo. Written and drawn by the Belgian artist Bernard Dumont, better known under its handle Bedu. He started his career in the weekly comic magazine Tintin in 1975 with Wacky the Raccoon. So obscure that I can't find a single image of it on Google. And published The Small Professor, various others, one-offs, and Ali Bamba. I don't really care about those. No, this is about Hugo, a series of a young traveling troubadour and his bear companion Pesquido. The adventure can be read separately, but plays around the land of Kermadec, the kingdom of King Hilarious, and especially in the domain of the knight Goldenberg of Wolfenburg. This is exactly where his first adventure starts. They first appeared in the magazine as a short story where Hugo and his bear had to combat another bear of his kind, with weapon and all. Quickly, early, we will learn that Pesquido's intelligence isn't that uncommon in this world. While they can't speak, they understand human language and are able to, as stated before, handle arms and other tools. After that short adventure, they meet the sole survivor of a faraway castle and fight a mutated monster that ate a magic garlic piece and rescue the people that were petrified by his breath. Of petrified. In the first album that will be published, Hugo heads to the palace of King Hilarious to visit his uncle, Bacon Cutter, that works in the palace kitchen. Disaster strikes when Clodebert, the son of the king, is polymorphed into a white being. It is quite confusing as the adventure is named the Brown Magical Bean. And Hugo and his companion, Pesquido, are brave and willing enough to find the mace Orlingo, as his knowledge of plants and vegetables could be enough to find a cure. And thus Hugo must travel to the south and enter the realm Eterix, that guards the portal to the realm of the Fae, named Genezijde. After a courageous trail, he lets the two go, but not before giving the young troubadour a gift, a destiny, a student and holder of certificate of life, a creature named Narcisse. Narcisse will prove to be rather lucky in discovering things that they need, and speaks more with an Italian Spanish dialect. The now trio attempts to cross the river lake, aptly named the Wee Sea, where they rescue the face sorceress Mirabelle from Scobblejack and his army of little watch guys. After rescuing the sorceress from an unwanted marriage, they leave her as she has to reclaim her lost powers a witch stole from her, which might be the same that cursed the garlic piece and the young prince. But later returns to aid the group against the insects that threaten the vegetable creations of Orlingo. In return he gives the antidote, and with the tears of the king, the young prince is restored. And his return is celebrated with bean stew. Ah yes, and on the way the witch finds her demise. The next time we find our trio back in Wolfenburg, where a wrinkled dwarf with the heart of a child is accused of sabotage in the construction of the cathedral. The blind caretaker of the little guy asks the three to head to the land of the sorceress Gargolia, where they encounter Maribel once more and aids them in entering. Damn it. It's a kind of monster guarding the entry.
It doesn't look easy. Leave it up to me. This is a job for a woman. Hello, ugly young man.
What an appetizing lunch. By chance I run out of food. That problem has fixed itself.
Oh, hideous young man. Are you really going to eat the girl of your destiny?
What? You dare to seduce me? Me, the king of hideousness.
I dare to say you wear the title with pride. I rarely see such hideousness.
I am indeed truly revolting.
I was an ugly princess too, till a sorceress till a sorceress transformed me into the beauty that I am now. What is happening? Why is why is she telling nonsense?
Just watch, you will see.
Only a only a prince of your stature can release me from the spell. You have to kiss me. Here.
Blah, the things you do for love.
But this is terrible! I turned handsome!
Quick, my friends. No time to lose.
Gosh, I didn't know your charms had that kind of effect.
Are we really letting him cry here for all his life? Don't worry, the spell only lasts for a few minutes. It won't be long, and he will be restored to his former beauty.
The palace, where they get the water of youth, where the dwarf has to bathe in. As a consequence, the dwarf splashes his captors with water, and the truth is revealed. The now architect seemed to have stolen the youth of a child and began to age it, and now begins to age rapidly. He had hoped that the child would have died on natural causes in prison. Only then would the curse have been permanent. The evil man is now dead. The boy himself decides to continue his life with his blind caretaker. Later they meet the Grummels in the Hazelwoods and learn that Maribel has been captured by the king of Wittenbrick, who is in war with the king of Zwartenbrick, a sibling. Hugo, Mirabel, Narcisse and Ertje, a Grummel, manage to defeat the trio of ants, manage to get their hands on the Apple of Eden. In return that they release the now captured Mosquito. Sadly, the other side has also captured the Crumble leader Hertje. And after both manage to escape, the two brothers, they don't want a real who don't want a real war, decide to split the power of the fruit, only to wage war. I mean, chess, soon thereafter. I wish most albums were so easy to describe. Now to my favorite. Hugo and his companions are visiting the abbey of Brother Fast to collect the manuscript he was copying from the alchemist Corfazio. Near the abbey, Narcisse befriends Luciola, the adopted daughter of the blacksmith. The girl had a power to destroy any object that she stares long enough and attract skills. That night, another visitor, the beastman Valzabal, knocks off the heart of Luciol's mother and entrusts it to his crow. Unsurprisingly, the bird got in a fight with Narcisse, who claims the stone for his own. That morning, Luciol discovers the flowers that grew near the grave has wilted, and has dreams that tells her that she has to find her real father now. And as Narcisse isn't her destiny, he can't stop her. He gifts the stone, and the flowers revive. In return, he's gifted with one of the flowers, and promised their little secret. But he does, after they rescue the alchemist and Maribel from the monstrous blowhards. The group travels to the north of Genezijde to aid Luciole from her murderous aunt, Miss Amine. while the girl herself is aided by the Crummels. In the end, she's reunited the heart of her mother with the petrified remains of her father, the sorcerer king Zolvo, who defeats her aunt that promised she would return. Oh, we so wish. But instead of reviving, the statue starts to house countless gales. The girl makes her choice and releases the birds, but in return causes the revival of the castle of the gales, the thing her aunt was after. The daughter of Solvo now became the new queen of the face sorcerers. And to make the loyalty official, the sorcerers are prepared to fulfill one single wish. Her wish is easy made, and wishes that her adoptive parents can live with her in the palace. With mixed results, it seems even our lovely Mirabelle is no help at all here. So Hugo and Narcissus agree. It would be easier to get her parents themselves. Not to mention, it would be safer. The end. Just kidding. In the last adventure, Hugo, Mosquito and Narcissus are once again guessed by the noble of Hulkenberg. At the tournament, our knight is almost killed by Fergal, a servant of the noble Varald of Todensmecke. The later fled the scene when it is discovered that Fergal was nothing but an animated armor. Hugo and his companions, together with the animated white wine jug and the assistance of the brainwashed sorcerer Orsaval, enter Castle Todesmark to recover the blue pearl that was the source of the wizard's power and will, evading the evil creatures that are made for the evil noble. Along the way, they meet our lovely sorceress Mirabelle once again, and is talked out of destroying the pearl, and allows for the sorcerer to destroy it himself, which would result that only his evil creations would be destroyed, sparing Ken in the process. The end. Sorry for the quick ending, as it deserved better. It's just a fun series with fun looking monsters and characters. It's a fun short story. And that's the problem with the series, it's too short. Vader never continued the series. He focused on the series, like Clifton and Psy. Maybe that is why the series scores so high in my book. A comic for all ages, and rightfully deserves a 10 plus. And here we are at the end. Likely I will make the whole top 10 in the future, or talk about series that could have easily made it in the list, like Papyrus or the Centaurs. Or we could go with the sci-fi series like Wake, Gigantics, or the Catamaran. Time will only tell. I'll row out. What? You dare to the suit? You dare to the suit? You dare to this? You dare to this?